Hello, everyone, and welcome to A Moment with Lola. With me tonight is an amazing woman. Her name is Yemi. Yemi, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I'm glad you're able to make it tonight. Thank you so much for coming.
Definitely.
For those of you who don't know Yemi, Yemi is an artist. She's a gospel singer. And she has been singing for a time now, and she's had a couple of music out. She's currently working on a special project, and we're going to be diving into that, getting to know her and her journey thus far up until this point, how God has actually moved in her life. So without any further ado, I know that you're currently working on a project because you have mentioned that. What kind of project is that?
So basically it's another single that I'm working on. The title is Hallowed. This song has actually been almost 7 years in the making, so I'm really excited about it. I feel like it's the perfect time to release it. So I'm hoping to have that particular song out before summer.
Great. Yeah. So I know you have a couple of you've released a couple of singles.
Yeah, I have.
So what are their titles and what's happening with that now?
Okay, so I actually released the first song I released was in 2016, and it's called God Alone. That was my first single, and I really love the song. It's actually available on iTunes, as well as you can watch the lyric video on YouTube. And the second song I released in September of the same year, titled Everlasting God, which I did like a live recording video for, and it's also available on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Yemi.
Okay. And I'll post all of that information at the end of this video. Yeah.
So those are the two singles that I have out currently.
So how was the first one like? What inspired you? How did you get inspiration to,
It's actually funny. I got the song. I was at Howard University at that particular time, and I was practicing piano. It was my first time learning piano, and I just finished one of my courses, and the song just came to me as I kept playing, practicing on the piano, and I was like, man, I have to record this song. It ministered to me, and I just had to have it out for everyone else to hear.
And it's been a delight. Yeah, it's a wonderful song. I've actually heard you perform it live.
Thank you so much.
It's a wonderful music. So so how proficient are you now in the piano?
Honestly, I must confess, when I'm playing the piano, it's like my brain, my fingers are just doing different things. For the people that do play the piano, I give them kudos. It's a lot of work. I'm working on it. I can play my scales and everything, but I think I'll just stick to singing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you don't play any other music?
I play the guitar.
Okay.
I'm better. I'm not like the expert, but I play decent. I can probably survive.
Okay. Great. So and I know you recently just to kind of like divert a little bit. I know you recently had a baby.
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
It's not recent anymore.
I know, because he's a young man at this point. Okay.
I had a baby boy. He's actually just turned 14 months. He's a big guy. Thank you so much. Yes.
Congratulations.
He's a big guy now.
Yeah. So and how is and how's that been for you?
It's actually been an interesting journey. I've learned so much about myself. Actually, a couple of months before I had the baby, I was thinking about how things were gonna change with me, and if I'll still be able to do music, and how I would be able to juggle everything. But God has been faithful. Actually, I think having Daniel, I've really realized that we're capable of doing so many things.
Absolutely.
If we just put our minds to it. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So music, I know, has that been what you've always wanted to do?
I mean, I've always loved to sing. I've always been in the choir. But in terms of career, when I was leaving high school, I actually wanted to study fashion because I've also always loved fashion. but I never got to pursue that. I got accepted to the School of Fashion, but I think God had other plans for me, and I actually went on to study accounting. So I have a minor in accounting, but eventually I changed my major, and actually now just so that I can have that degree, I'm studying management studies. But the funny thing is, I do music full time.
Absolutely.
It took a while to really understand that music was what I was meant to do, but I think I noticed that throughout my entire life and after high school, music was that constant thing. And I think I just had that moment when I realized that, yes, music is my calling. And that's what I do now full time.
Okay, so you do that full time. So I know you have a couple of singles out. You're currently working on a project.
Yeah.
What else do you do? How does that,
Okay, so at my church, I'm actually the pastor in charge of the music team. So that's something that I do as well. Also, every Monday, what I do is I actually have something that I call Music Mondays. So I record and I cover different contemporary music artists and everything. So I have that posted on Mondays. I have that on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is, WhatsApp stories. I have it there, so you guys can check it out. I call it Music Mondays. Every Monday I have a new song out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you do that full time. So, what do you also? What else? I mean, so that's your platform. That's your.
Yeah, that's just to get exposure. I actually also get invites, so I minister at different places when I get invited. I have some this month, and I have some for the year, and we're still looking. It's still a long time, so we'll see what else comes along. Okay.
So would you? And I know. So how do you? Have you signed up with any record label?
Right now, I'm currently an independent artist, but I'm excited to see what the future holds. You never know if I get the right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do. So you're not signed up with any record label?
Not right now.
And you do. So how do you want to talk about how your music is being produced and who?
Yeah, so I actually co-produce my music with my keyboardist Tim Iden. He's such a talented pianist.
Indeed.
So I have my music, I have the melody, I know how it sounds, and we just come together. He comes up with the music on the piano, and we do everything. He does the production, because I come in and sing, and he sends it to the mixers and the engineers and other musicians. So he's really behind production. When it comes to the music. Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's really so you go. I mean, the production is done by another person. So, but how do you actually have a single on an app, or the only area the avenue where we can find your product, is it just on iTunes and or do you have single as in a little?
So the thing about singles are that it's literally a single.
Absolutely.
So the best platform.
I had a guest here on my show, and my brother, and he kind of set things straight. A single is different from an album. So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But is that? I was just wondering, for those who are looking to get your music, to purchase, to listen to it, where can they do that?
Yeah, definitely. It's on all the different platforms. Sorry. So you can get it on all the music platforms. So it's on iTunes, Google Play, CD Baby, Amazon, Spotify. If you want to watch the videos, you can get them on YouTube. On YouTube, Instagram. I'm there for my social handles and everything.
Great, fantastic. So, and I know how long have you been singing?
Man, I've been singing at least I think I started actively when I was 10.
Okay.
But before that, I've always been involved in like children's choir.
Okay.
It's really interesting. My first singing gig, was at the age of 11. I was invited to a church to come sing for their children's department.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it's actually a big deal. Being a child and being invited to a church at 11 years old to come and sing. So I'm really excited about that. And even at that time, I didn't really see that God was setting the stage for me to actually do music full time. So, yeah.
Okay. So, in your music career, do you have any aha moments, so to speak? Do you have any highlights where you say, "Oh, this can only be God"?
Like I said, about when I had my before I had my baby, and thinking about how if I'll still be able to do music and everything. It was just so interesting because a month after having my son, I mean, when you just had a baby, you're still trying to recover. It was so interesting that I got a phone call.
It's a life-changing experience.
Yeah. I actually got a phone call from an assistant to one of the senators at the in Capitol Hill. And they actually were looking for someone to host to sing for the dinner after they usually have a prayer breakfast every year.
Oh, wow.
And they had some foreign dignitaries that he wanted to host for that evening, and they were looking for a singer, and they actually contacted me. So in 2017, I'm sorry, less than 2 months after having my baby, I was singing at Capitol Hill.
Wow.
For foreign dignitaries, senators.
That's amazing.
It was just so interesting. I was sitting down next to the vice president of Liberia, and I actually did not know until they called him up. And I turned to my pianist, Tim, and I'm like, bro, we are sitting next to the vice president of, Liberia. So I was very grateful for that, because honestly, I don't know. God just connected me. I had nothing to do with it. I did not send anything to them. And, I thank God for that opportunity.
Absolutely. That was amazing.
Yeah.
It can only be God.
Yeah, definitely.
It can only be God. So, I was going to ask you if there was anything you would do differently, but
I mean, the only thing that I wish that I had done differently was pursuing music later on. I wished I knew that was my calling when I left high school. I think it would have saved me a lot of time doing things that I didn't need to be doing. But I know that like Romans 8:28 says, everything works together for our good. So I know that there's a reason why I went through that process, but I'm just thankful that I realize and know what my calling is now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's good, because a lot of people go through life searching.
Yeah.
And I've, in my own experience, I know life happened at different stages. So you might get it in your 20s, you might discover it in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, but I think ultimately, if you can discover it, I think that's just
it's really important. Yeah,
it's important, and I think it's a blessing. It's a joy. Yeah. It's an honor to be able to discover it and pursue it.
Definitely.
So, and I always ask my guests this: what advice would you give someone who is looking to, I personally believe that we all have something deposited in us. We have a song, a music, a book, a playwright, something inside of us. Oh, but before I go to that question, I know you have a fashion blog.
Yes, it's actually something that I recently started. So on Instagram, I'm actually planning on merging that also on my website. And I'm considering changing my Instagram page, because right now it's currently, most people know me as Yemi the singer, and so I'm trying to start fresh, so that you know me as Yemi the singer, and also she sings and she loves fashion. So I'm currently in the process of changing my Instagram and starting fresh, and also just merging my blog, my fashion blog, with my current website, I.AM.Yemi.com. So there's gonna be a blog section, and it's going to be called Singer on the Runway.
Oh wow!
You know, so
Okay.
The page is not out yet. I'm still working on it, but
so
yeah.
look out for it.
Yeah, I love fashion, so like I said, I wanted to go to the Fashion Institute, and I know that music is my major calling, but I do believe that there's a way to also merge the two together.
So, do we see a fashion outlet? I mean,
so
for you in the future, are you going to? I mean, what do you want to do with? I know you have a blog page now. But what do you want to do with that?
You know, I think because he really orders our stuff. In terms of fashion, there was a year that I spent sewing. What I've come to realize is that I don't necessarily want to be in the creating and the sewing and making of the garment, but more of the styling, you know, how to dress and everything. And for me, it's also important, being a Christian, I find out that you don't really see a lot of people that you can look up to in terms of how to dress modestly. And that's one reason why I also wanted to pursue, you know, the fashion blog aspect, because I feel like as a musician, you can also be a trendsetter. Absolutely. And I know that young people can, you know, have someone to look at as, oh, this person, you know, she sings, she's a minister, but she also dresses stylishly without exposing herself. It's modest fashion. So that's really tasteful. One major reason why I wanted to pursue that, just to be a good example when it comes to dressing. Yeah.
And I'm sure there are a lot of people who would like to see that.
Yeah.
You know. And now to my question, which is, you know, what would you the question I was going to ask you before I asked about a fashion blog that you are currently working on. What would you tell someone who is looking to pursue a music career? Like I said earlier, we all have something. We have a gift. We have a talent. So anyone who is looking to pursue that but does not have enough courage or has been discouraged, what would you tell them?
Definitely the major thing is, if you know that you have a gift, I would tell you, don't be afraid to, pursue it. I think for me, fear was one reason why I didn't start on time. But there's a songwriter that says, I'm no longer slave to fear. Don't let fear be the reason that you're not walking in your calling. Absolutely. And also be skillful in what you do, because the honest truth is, in every field you have people who are doing the same thing, but what makes you stand out from the rest? So just work on yourself, take the classes if you need to take the vocal classes. So be skillful, look for different opportunities to showcase yourself. Like I said, currently I post videos on Instagram. I'm still, I don't want to say I'm upcoming, but I'm still building up myself, trying to get more awareness, so I post videos weekly, and that's a way that people can see me. I'm on
you're
Instagram.
Also here on this interview.
Exactly. Definitely, I'm here on this interview. I'm on Instagram. I have my social handles, Twitter, Facebook, everything, but I do it in a way that glorifies God, but definitely pursue it, work diligently. I know that sometimes it might feel like, well, I'm doing this thing and nothing is coming out of it, but it's actually, you're setting up yourself up for your breakthrough, and when that time comes, you know that you're prepared to go into it, basically.
Oh, well said. Well said. You've heard that. You've heard what Yemi has said, and I hope you have the courage. And thank you for joining us today, and hope to see you next time on A Moment with Lola. Thank you so much, and remain blessed.
Bye.
Bye.